Hey everybody, I'm GWReborn. Today I'm going to be tanking the deep with a 12-man non-skip way as a warrior. Going to show you an explanation, a guide, and pretty much explaining every step of the way from right now at room 1 portal. So tanking Kanaxe is usually the hardest part in the deep because he hits so hard, and that's why I use a demon shield for like 80% of the deep, and then the other 20% you'll see some shield swaps in different areas. The tank usually goes in either portal 1 or 2 depending on the team tactic. I say room 1, portal 1, far right portal is best because you're able to get that room clear as fast as possible. You're able to get out and start balling everything. So once you death charge in, you ball up in the Kanaxe, everything usually dies in under 15 seconds, depending on the tactic and the team play. But this is going to be a casual run, non-speed clear. We did this in right at 15, 16-minute run, which was a very good run. So glad to be able to record for this one. So here, after you get out of your room, you want to ball up everything. Usually, I don't recommend running a cupcake, but I'm running a cupcake Pcon because I'm trying to go as fast as possible. And usually a cupcake causes things to break, so you have to walk sideways or backward. But the goal in this room is to ball up as many mantas as possible, carps, and the Irukandji ritualists. Obviously, we got a really quick room clear out of that using Edge of Extinction, and we're running a high-level focused damage team. Two monks. The rest of them are mesmers after the derv. So 2 monks, 2 dervs, and then optimally eyed all energy surge mesmers. We have an EOE focused mesmer. We have 2 derv and then the monks are heal party cedars running Great Dwarf Weapon, and you move like a dwarf. Everything dies really quick, utilizing Edge of Extinction, off damage as well. So notice in the pad room, this is called the pad room, I go in and pull everything, the Ranger Leviathans. It's very hard to do it in an assassin or warrior for this room because of the slow movement delay. So some teams may bring a Paragon to speed boost you to the area. Once you pull everything back, pretty much called target. The pulls can be 5 different ways. What I just did there was simply a non-speed clear pull. It's the fastest to me because I'm simply pulling them back to kill as quick as possible without the stun movement. Now, since we are doing a non-speed clear, we're going to be vanquishing pretty much this region. So we're killing all the Rangers, kill Kanaxe, grab chest if we want. Now the recall chain system here, tank is always going to stand on the middle pad. So I'm standing on the middle pad here, and then you get the other 4 people to recall me. I'm targeting somebody that I know is going to recall, that I can target to recall out on. Normally it's the Bonder. I'm a warrior, so no Bonder this run. So I manually recalled out and then ran forward, and they remove recall, or it's automated. The best way to do it is to let it automatically remove through somebody running forward, but I was just going really fast this run. And we still got 12-12. Now for the outcast pull here, I like to use a lightning shield. So I did a shield swap, and then I have Defy Pain. I keep it up. I ball them up in this corner here on the left, and then I call target once everything's in one spot. If it's not in one spot, you also can manipulate walking sideways, backward, death charge, or whatever. And we got one that was gate blocked in here now. So this is a completely different pull. I've never seen anybody on Guild Wars do as a YouTube video. So here it is. Warrior's the only way to do this because of the stance, the high armor. So I pull all 3 groups of outcast patrols. I walk backwards using Cupcake. Sometimes I run forward if I'm about to die to break them and then make them come back again. And I pull them all the way to the very bottom left corner of stairs here. Once I see the Ritualist ball up, I death charge in, and I call target in this corner. Everything should die within a few seconds. Since we are optimized on non-speed clear focus, we don't have any room to have slow spikes because everybody has an optimal AoE damage bar. So everything died really quickly using Edge of Extinction. As they clear up and clean up the rest of it, being that we're vanquishing almost everything in the non-speed clear focus, I'm going ahead and bowling the next group of Onis. So the reason the warrior I prefer, one of them is because I'm able to actually use stances and keep moving without casting delay like you have. Some other people would run Shadow Form where you can't use Shadow Form in this region. So for speed clear focus runs, definitely recommend using an assassin over a warrior. You also would rather use an assassin over a warrior for a spikeway team or some team that isn't going to be needing to kill everything. So like efficiently clearing through. It's also more party supportive to be able to have an assassin, so you have a bonder and a monk to seed, and simply it's just easier for somebody to tank as an assassin. I've done over 1,000 runs as assassin and over 2,500 on a warrior, so I prefer warrior, but either works. So now that the Oni area is cleared, we had to hug the wall to dodge the worm. Now, since the Derv died here, normally the Derv would have solo killed all of those Onis, so we're about 30-second delay there. I like to ball up in this little corner here. You'll see between the two notches of these towers and the wall. The reason I do that is they like to run forward and spike the group, but instead they stop and get body blocked on me. And this is where I'm using my shield with lightning whenever I fight Outcast. I use a demon shield whenever I'm using for Onis, and then I shield swap to blunt damage for the hammer Leviathans or the sappings you'll see later in the run. So now that the enemies keep dying, I like to always stay ahead of everybody as the tank. A true tank should always try to be the lead and make sure nobody runs past them unless they're a derv solo roll for the deep. And here's an area that I kind of skipped really quickly. It was about 2 minutes because we had a chest that we wanted to go back and get. So there was a little bit of a bad spawn there and a delay of 2 minutes. So this run was actually 17 instead of 15. If I took those 2 minutes away, there's your 15-minute run. The Onis here, the derv can solo spike while you run forward to trigger the next group, or the derv goes forward and you ball those Onis at the front of the bridge. Another factor is you want to make sure you time your I am unstoppable with cripple, because I am unstoppable's got 8 to 7 seconds, 7-8 seconds where you don't have anti-cripple, whereas you want to use it when you're getting crippled. So now that I ball them here, I like to ball them in that corner on top of stairs for the second Oni group. We call this bridge 1, 2, 3. This is bridge 3. Bridge 1 was at the start. Now that I got the second group balled up, there's a chest I'll grab. Normally I would not ball these or die here. I would just run straight to the sappings, but we are doing a non-speed clear focus, so I'm trying to be a little bit slower and allow everybody to kill everything before I go forward ahead. And I also died because I dropped Defy Pain. That was my fault. So for Pcons, let's talk about real quick. I like to use apple, corn, egg, war supply, and cupcake. Cupcake is probably the one you would remove if you're not experienced because of the fact that you are breaking aggro without moving too fast. You can use Cupcake here though. Somehow sappings just stay on top of you. So for this area, I like to use a shield swap. So I went to blunt shield with -3 hex. Right there, I just clicked it. Ball them up right here. EOE should be up and everything dies within seconds. So there's Chaos Storm. You have to kind of keep moving a couple steps forward every few seconds once you ball them. Otherwise, Chaos Storm will ball up on you. If you're doing this in normal mode, you don't have to deal with Chaos Storm. There was an update a couple years ago where Sea Storm, Chaos Storm, if everybody had martial weapons, that went away. Now for another area that you never see anybody pull and ball up. The Outcast room with the Onis and the Kanaxe up here on top of the ledge. There's 2 Outcast trigger points that causes everything to run up like you see there. I personally do not know the most optimal way to do this yet. Maybe somebody could give us a suggestion in the comments section on the best way to ball these up. But right now I'm just death charging up, calling target EOE from back at the back of the ledge where I death charged from, and everybody just spikes the melee. And then after the melee, we go straight and kill the casters. Another route, which I've done in another run, that was a little bit slower. We actually went on that mission mini map right there. You can see on the compass range, we ran to the right, tank death charge balled up all around the casters, and then everything was dying on the casters. That's a little bit more optimal, but it's more risky because the tank can die a little easier, especially since you don't have a spell breaker for this run. So now that that's done, I'm going to move forward. We are almost to the boss already. I hope y'all enjoying the commentary. Well, if you haven't already, please hit the like button and subscribe for more Guild Wars content. We have a derv that's going ahead solo, killing the Onis while we go, and I'm about to get a nice drop, a demon shield drop in this run, which is very rare. So demon shields are high sought after for an old school dual mod. Anything +10 versus demon with a secondary max mod, mine is 4 off with 41 enchant. That's still pretty good. So I'll probably auction that one off later. So thank y'all for watching. We're about to be at the Kanaxe boss. So now that we got the Onis all dead here, the Outcast group, sometimes I would run by them, but this run I actually just death charge straight in, let them spike, and then I go forward. The most optimal way is for you to always stay ahead, but notice that your monk, as a warrior, you don't have heal support, so you have to rely on the monks to use heal party for most of the run. So you want to get 2 knockdowns here. I like to have Defy Pain activated. I am unstoppable. And Soldier's defense, gain my adrenaline, use Bonetti's defense to gain 10 energy to do my second knockdown using You Move Like a Dwarf. Bring them down at the ledge, call target, and everything dies. Kanaxe dies in less than 15-20 seconds with a good team. We have a Mez E-Surge Spike Ray team using an Aneurysm EOE Mesmer. So thank y'all for watching. I hope you enjoyed. We'll see what the chest drops were. So a couple quick tips if anybody wants to know. If you're doing a warrior, I'll put in the description details all of the gear, rune, armor, template, but you want to use sentinel armor insignias is my tip because you're facing a lot of elemental damage casters and you're blocking.